Transaction Rollback is a normal trap card. There you go, enough content to justify ending this video right here. But just because I'm feeling generous, I might as well talk about what this card does for the game. It has two effects, an on-field effect and an engrave effect. The on-field effect allows you to mimic the effect of a normal trap card in your opponent's graveyard at the cost of half of your life points. This is honestly really gimmicky because trap cards overall are only really played in trap-heavy decks unless you're trying to copy something like an Imperm or an Evenly Matched. Now, the engrave effect is what's really interesting here. It's very similar. You get to banish this card from the graveyard and then copy the effect of a normal trap card in your own graveyard at the cost of half of your life points. This is extremely cool for multiple reasons. First of all, this is way more reliable than the first effect because you can at least always ensure that you have normal trap cards because your opponent might just not play any. But most importantly, this card is really good to mill and discard. Oh well, what do you know? The Labyrinth deck actually plays Chanja and Stovey, and they have to discard other cards to trigger their effects. In tandem with another trap card and two furniture monsters, you're gonna be able to set two Labyrinth trap cards from your deck to your field, on top of being able to use a trap card on turn 0. And the really cool thing about this card is that you get to actually copy the effect of a normal trap card, but without the annoying stipulations. So for example, if you activated, let's say, Welcome or Big Welcome Labyrinth and it got ashed, you can still technically use the effect again, this time just by mimicking the effect with Transaction Rollback. Now again, that's nice and all, but do you know what's even better? Randomly getting access to your engine thanks to your opponent. As a matter of fact, the Shizu cards actually make both players mill, and for some reason, Tier Elements is still top tier in the OCG. And that's a really good reason why Labyrinth is doing really well in the OCG, and the top performing deck list are playing 3 copies of Transaction Rollback in their main deck. And to be quite honest with you, I can also see Tier Elements being really good in the TCG as well once Kashtira dies. I mean, Tier Elements is always getting indirect support, and I really don't think it's gonna get a hit in the near future. So yeah, if you want to be preemptively ready for this, make sure you play 3 copies of Transaction Rollback in your Labyrinth deck. Because if your opponent mills you with the Shizus, you're gonna be really happy. Now again, I have to be really honest here. Outside of Labyrinth, Transaction Rollback doesn't seem that great. Ironically enough, it's actually not even good to draw unless you can very specifically discard it, so it's usually a neg 1 more often than not. But again, thanks to the furnitures, it always does something whether you draw it or not. And you could theoretically still play Transaction Rollback in, let's say, a combo deck so that you can either discard it or mill it with Foolish Goods or any other mill engine cards. By the way, Foolish Barrel Goods is also decent in Labyrinth, albeit a little slower. Overall, fantastic trap support card and also really terrifying potential for the future. Anyways, that's all I had for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about Transaction Rollback in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.